Okay, hi. As you see, today we'll be taking our first class for web developing, and would like to welcome you for this first class and feel at home. We're not in the long press actually, and if you think you have never done coding and coding is hard, I'm here to tell you forget about that perspective. Coding is easy to learn and you enjoy once you know it. So I'll lead you on the beginning by explaining what is web developing actually, which technology you need to know. On my side, we shall learn on the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. They're not easy and they're not hard as well. So feel at ease. You will not only learn theory, you will also learn practically by doing some projects as well as going step by step. So let's begin. So today I'll just introduce on the web development. When you heard web development, what do you understand actually? Web development is the process of creating websites and web applications. A web can contain text, images, forms, buttons, videos, and interactive features. We'll learn web development step by step from the beginning level to complete projects. So don't worry, when we speak of web developing, we just create websites and web applications, but they need step by step. You need first to know what are you going to learn. That's why I've just introduced you what is web development. The technology that you will learn, actually we learn on the HTML here. The HTML is the structure of the web page. There is CSS. CSS is the design and appearance. JavaScript is interactive and behavioral. PHP is the server and or backend programming, as well as MySQL for storing and managing data. When you speak of HTML, it means like a house. For instance, you can see here the house. The frame of the house, just the frame. It creates the structure of the web page. The walls and the rooms, as you see, it adds walls, rooms, and sections. It decides where and everything will go. So everything, for instance, as you say, the content. HTML puts the content inside the structure like text, images, lists, links. These are the frameworks. It shows you where to put stuffs. For example, if you check this house, you'll know here's the sitting room, here will be the dining, here will be the veranda. So this is how HTML works. But when you come to CSS, CSS is the design. HTML only is not suitable. But when you put the CSS, the house looks more best. So you see, when you have just HTML here, it looks plain and unstyled. This is the house without CSS. But when you put CSS, you've pressed paint on the roofs, on the walls, windows that have been laminated and all that. The house looks more good, and that's how CSS works. CSS makes the house beautiful. It adds colors, styles, spacing, and layouts. What CSS controls? When we speak of CSS, we control colors, we control fonts, we control spacing, layouts, decoration, and responsive designs. For now, take it easy. You'll understand as time goes on. And if you're a beginner, for today it may be hard for you to understand, but just take it easy. You understand well. So here you see we have HTML. HTML just is the structure, but when you put CSS, you put like the design. Okay, so after here we'll introduce the house. CSS makes the house beautiful. Together they create a complete website. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It tells the browser what the content should appear on a web page. Examples, headings, paragraphs, images, links, tables, and forms. Think of HTML as the structure of the house, as I've said earlier, and CSS. Its long form means cascading style sheet. It controls how the web page looks. It controls the colors, font, spacing, size, and layout. As I said earlier, CSS is all about decorating, so you decorate the website. JavaScript, it tells you how to interact. For instance, how you interact with the button, HTML and CSS only cannot make the button interact. That means once you click it, it cannot take you to the next page as long as JavaScript is involved. So that's why it's written here. It can respond to clicks, validates forms, and change websites content. So that's the work of JavaScript. And the part of PHP is the back end. When we speak of the back end, is the server-side programming language. It has the website process information on the server. PHP can receive form data, handle users, and communicate with the database. MySQL is all about storing data. So it stores all the information concerned with our website. It stores and manages them. For instance, users, products, students, properties, all the things you'll have in the website will be stored by MySQL. So how the technology works, I've already explained. Like HTML will create the structure of the page, but the CSS will style it, like printing and all that. JavaScript are the browser-side interaction. You can interact. Those structures can be interactive. PHP is processing information on the server. Lastly, MySQL. So together we can create a complex web application. So today let us create the first HTML file. Create a page called web development course. Inside it, create this HTML and open. So you should have VS Code in order for your code to work. So let me make this file. For any HTML structure, it should have the doc.html, just the browser. This is HTML5 document. Contains the whole HTML document. Head contains the page information. Title, set the browser tab title. The body all visible parts of the page will be present here. So let me show you to the part of